Phil Kornbluth, David Shelton back at Williams-Brice Stadium. The 3A state championship game goes to South Pointe, the Stallions, 21-7 over Hartsville. And defense by South Pointe. The big story here, they did a terrific job against that misdirection offense of Hartsville. Red Foxes typically run up and down the field on people with their running game. Couldn't do it today.
Yeah, Hartsville comes in averaging 375 yards rushing per game. They end up with 95 yards rushing on 39 carries. And Hartsville's offense is not built to come from behind. And South Pointe got up 14-0 at the half. And you pretty much kind of knew, unless something drastically changed in the second half, South Pointe was going to win this game, and they did. They were the better team today.
What did you see defensively from South Pointe's alignment, their approach that worked so well for them?
Well, I think what they did is they just tackled exceptionally well. Hartsville, with that misdirection offense, it gets a lot of guys open, and if you don't tackle them, they do a great job. South Pointe was just on point tackling. I mean, there were no second yards after contact or anything like that. They kind of made them one-dimensional and took away the perimeter game, gave them stuff inside and gained tackles in football, and then let their offense do the rest. But, I mean, it's not like South Pointe rolled up a bunch of numbers either. They had 254 yards. So Hartsville's defense was good. But obviously, the balance, the ability for South Pointe to throw the football a little bit. They threw three touchdown passes. That was a difference.
Yeah, their quarterback, Greg Ruff, 13 of 18 for 154, 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Quay Brown and 1 to Josh Wiltz to account for their points. So when they had to come up with the play on offense, they did.
Exactly, and I mean, he only threw 18 passes, and it doesn't look like, he got sacked 5 times, so there's some plays where Hartsville was in the game, made some plays. But, Ruff is one of those guys, he's a little lefty. I saw him on the field, he's like 5'8", 155 pounds, but he made some great throws, kept himself alive in some plays, and then they turned it over to their defense, and that's how they won.
You made an interesting comment during the game that Hartsville needs to schedule more spread teams in the regular season to help prepare themselves. Even though their defense did a nice job today, they need to see more of this kind of offense in their regular season to help them when they get to this point.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think when you look at their schedule, Marlboro County was a little bit like South Pointe offensively, and they played them twice, and they won those games, but they were very, very close games. I mean, Hartsville can schedule who they schedule, but it's very apparent in this type of offense that when you get behind, if you can't defend the pass, and quite frankly, some of those passes, the guys were wide open. I mean, it wasn't like he was threading the needle; they were open. If you can't slow the other team down a little bit, and they're slowing you down, you're in trouble.
Okay, what about this South Pointe program now? Another championship for them. Man, they have produced some players over the years as well. They're still a young school and a young football program, but with that talent-rich area up in York County, Rock Hill up in there, they always seem to find players.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they always seem to find defensive players. They're what you would call now a defensive type program. Started with Bobby Carroll when he was there. Straight hair and has continued that. They do just enough offensively, and their defense just takes over. And so they're one of those programs where when you associate Burns, you think offense, but now South Pointe, you really associate strong team defense.
Yeah, when asked after the game what they did defensively, Straight Heron said, "Welcome to South Pointe defense."
That's it. And we're going to tackle you, we're going to be physical, and we're going to run, and they can run. And I think that's what Hartsville offense is a lot faster than most teams they play. They weren't faster today, and Jeff Calabrese admitted that after the game. He said they were quick. We knew they were quick. When you get them on the field, they're really quick.
All right, so South Pointe wins in 3A, and now we get ready for the final game of the day, 4A Division I. It's the #1 team defending champion, Dutch Fork against Hillcrest. You see much of a contest here?
I think Hillcrest has a potential to keep it very competitive. I think Dutch Fork's the favorite. This is their 3rd year here. They've been here and done this. They won't be all about the surroundings. But Hillcrest has been very good this year, and they're kind of a program on the rise. It's a good test for them.
David, thanks so much, and he'll be back with us a little bit later on after this game to recap Dutch Fork and Hillcrest final game of the night here at Williams-Brice.